Yes, now we are. We're rolling.
Okay, so we are going... Oh, you just knocked over the camera bout. We are going to go, obviously, Facebook Live here. We are actually recording our 100th episode of our podcast in the closet. So we decided to take it live to Facebook and just document the thing. I can't believe we've had 100 episodes on In the Closet.
100 episodes.
This is it. We're recording it live.
Crazy, really.
So today is a big day. It's our 100th episode on In the Closet, and
because of all those Apple boxes up there. Look at all those Apple boxes.
Lots of Apple boxes. And it's my fitness anniversary. It's a big deal.
This is a huge deal.
So we decided to take everything live today and kind of share everything in one. Facebook Live and
podcast.
Recording the podcast.
Yes.
We are multitasking, and this is how we do it. So if you're watching on Facebook right now and you don't understand what we're doing, we have a podcast. It's called In the Closet, and we are literally, you're knocking the camera over again. We are literally in our closet, as you can tell. That's what it's called. That's what the name of it is. It's kind of catchy to get everybody's attention in the closet. So we are literally in our closet.
Really creative.
So here we go. This is how we do it. We encourage you to go over to our Instagram page and check us out. Runyons in the Closet. Check it out.
Check it out.
So here we go. We're in the closet.
Be careful, though. Enter at your own risk. There can be some...
yeah, it's really parental discretion advised because...
just us being us.
It's
sometimes the us being us is not always...
The filter's not always on.
Not always pure.
We will try to keep it good for Facebook, though, because we are a Facebook Live.
We're gonna keep it. This is gonna be like PG-17. Is that a thing?
No,
okay.
Babe, it's PG-13. It's like, I think it's like NR-17.
Kids are killing other kids on video games.
I understand that. I understand that, but it's still not PG-17. It's you just go to rated R after that. You need a straw.
Okay, I don't care about the ratings.
All right, so we're talking today about
your fitness journey.
My fitness journey.
That I can't believe it went one whole year.
I can't either.
And now we're at 8.
I know, right?
Because look at me, I'm killing it.
And let me take a time out here, because we are Facebook Live. If you're new to our podcast is not at all fitness related.
No, we haven't talked about fitness.
We very rarely talk about fitness on our podcast because it's my career, and I kind of need a break from talking about it sometimes.
Oh, we still talk about it.
But from time to time, we do talk about it, which today is one of those days. We are going to talk about my fitness journey that started March 19th, 2011.
Yes.
Finally. And
you'd had it. You're done. You're up to there with it.
I had it with sitting in my closet, which we lived in Atlanta, Georgia at the time. And I was done having babies, and I was done sitting in my closet trying to put on clothes that didn't fit, getting upset, tired of looking at myself in the mirror, not liking what I see, tired of being down on myself, tired of being negative. And it was coming out into my relationships, my relationship with Jeff, my relationship with my kids, my relationship with my friends, and actually my relationship with myself.
That's what happens when you feel bad about yourself.
I felt terrible about myself. And so I finally decided to do something about it. And I shared on my IGTV today, which if you're interested in that, you can hop over to IGTV. I shared a little bit of a different angle on my fitness journey. I've shared my story a lot of times, so I know people have heard it. We all know why I started doing what I did. We all know why I started a fitness journey. Basically, in a nutshell, it's because I was fed up and I wanted to feel better and I wanted to look better. But
and you do. Good work.
Well, thank you.
You're killing it.
I appreciate that. I still have work to do because it's never over.
It takes a long time, doesn't it?
It's not and I've said this before, it's not a fitness trip. Okay? A trip is something you go on the weekends. A trip is something you go on with your family for a few days. A trip is a vacation. Okay, this is a journey. A journey is way longer than a trip. In fact, there is no end point. If you think there is, then you're setting yourself up for some major disappointment and you're probably not going to do very well.
Yeah, it's kind of like my post today on the thing where it said your easiest day. Is that what it said? Your easiest day was yesterday.
Right.
It never gets. You just keep pushing and going and moving.
Right.
And run into things
Right. And you're gonna have so many excuses that you feel like that you could fall back on. Just like I shared today in my IGTV story or video, is I had so many excuses that I could have legitimately used and fell back on. We had 3 kids at the time. The youngest was 3. The oldest was 11. Not only did I have the 3 kids, but I also had a full-time job, and I also had to commute. Okay, so we lived in Georgia at the time. I worked in Midtown Atlanta, and we lived in another part of Georgia, so I had to commute a good hour to work, and coming home from work, a lot of times it was longer than an hour. So that put me having to leave the house at 6 something, and I didn't get home. So I was gone 12 hours a day.
We were like 20 miles from your office.
Well, we were 20 miles, but with the traffic,
That's the point I'm making. Now it's like,
right. So
nice, 20 miles to 20 miles.
Right. So with all that being said, with the little kids, because they weren't teenagers like they are now that can kind of take care of themselves, I had a lot of excuses I could have used. And I did use those for a while. And then I finally got fed up. And I worked at a law firm in Atlanta. And I said today on my IGTV story, if it weren't for the amazing law firm that I worked for, and I got choked up on my video, I'm going to try to be good for this. But I honestly, hands down, if it wasn't for Freedom Bonder in Atlanta, Georgia, allowing me to take longer lunches for me to start this journey, I probably would not have stuck with it. So I went to them because I was their only employee at the time. And I went to them and I told them what I wanted to do. And, a lot of times you think attorneys are big buttholes, and some are. But I've worked for a lot of attorneys, and I've worked for a lot of good attorneys. This group in Atlanta was no exception. But I went to them and I asked them, I told them what I wanted to do. And I said, in order to do this, I'm going to need a little bit longer than an hour. And they said to me, do what you need to do. They supported me 100% in doing it.
Good
I
dudes.
can't remember if they paid for my gym membership.
I think they did.
I feel like they did.
I'm pretty sure they did. I think they were really
I feel like they did.
in you bettering yourself. They always were. They still are. They're good dudes.
So I did, and I went at lunch and I worked out for a good hour or so, and they didn't have showers there. So I also had the excuse that I could have fell back on. I was like, well, you know what? Look, the gym doesn't have showers. I got to go back to work.
Stinky.
I can't be stinky. Okay, I hear that all the time. Oh, I could work out at lunch, but I get so sweaty and stuff like this. Now, some people say I don't sweat, and I call bull crap on you because you don't work out with me on a daily basis. I do sweat.
A little.
Okay? But what I would do is I would just re-deodorize. Deodorize? Is that right?
It can be.
Deodorize. I would spray, and I would dry shampoo my hair. And if you don't use dry shampoo,
That's amazing.
you're missing out. I've even got Jeff using it.
I love dry shampoo.
Okay? Dry shampoo your hair. Go in the bathroom if there's an air dryer, or use the heat of your car and dry your hair. Okay? You can do it. You can do it. Now, if you have 30 minutes for a lunch, yeah, maybe not. But my point is, you've got to work around your excuses. You've got to get rid of the excuses, because until I got rid of the excuses, I went nowhere. Everybody has something. Everybody has some sort of excuse. But you've got to find a way, if you want to do it, to fit it into your life that you do now. If you know you're not going to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and work out, don't start that.
Yourself.
Don't even say you're going to. If you know you're not going to work out after the kids go to bed, don't even say you're going to. Figure it out, though.
It's just like a diet, right? I mean, working out, it's just like a diet. You can't just say, oh, I'm going to give up this for 2 months so I can get in
Right.
a bathing suit that I want to get into. If you're not going to give it up for good, and you're not going to commit to it, then you're not going to ever really hold on to the goal that you're trying to reach.
Right, and that's
There's no real easy way to get there.
That's exactly my point. You have to make it fit into what you're doing now. If you over restrict yourself, if you make it too hard, I figured out you won't stick with it. But what I did was also that day, other than just starting a fitness journey on March 19th, 2011, I also gave up one of my loves. And no, it wasn't Jeff, and no, it wasn't the kids, but it was it was my love for sweets, for candy, for desserts, because Angie felt like she had to have a dessert after every meal. Not only that, I also had a candy drawer at my desk at work that I visited probably, way more than I should. And it was a big deal for me to give that up, because I knew that if I didn't give that up, that it was going to sabotage me, because it was a trigger food. And what I mean by a trigger food is something that you start eating that you can't stop. Okay? So the guys like Oreos. So the guys at Freedom Bonder in Atlanta, Georgia, probably didn't like that part too much, because they also frequented.
Yeah, they lived off that candy, didn't they?
My candy drawer.
Yeah.
But I did. I gave it up cold turkey on March 19th, 2011, and I honestly have not gone back. It's been 8 years, and I couldn't be more proud of myself, because I never thought I could actually do that, to be honest, because it took me a couple of years.
I knew you couldn't do it. I mean, I didn't say that. But, I mean, giving up that stuff after you ate it every day.
I did.
After lunch and after dinner, and it was just a routine.
It was just a routine, and it was a craving that I had, but I knew that I had to get rid of it. But for the first 2 years, it was really hard for me to even, like, Easter candy was my downfall. Like, it was my biggest,
Peeps.
Oh my gosh, Peeps.
I don't like Peeps. Those things are nasty.
I love stale Peeps. Oh, yeah, I did. I loved me some sweet tart, those chicks, sweet tart chicks.
I love some chicks, too.
I'm sure you do. But it took me a couple years that I actually could go down the Easter candy aisle and not, like, literally, physically cry. Like, literally cry. That's how hard it was.
That's bad. But you fought through it.
But I fought through it. And now, for a while I felt punished by it. I thought, why am I punishing myself? Why am I doing this to myself? But now it's not a punishment. I don't crave it at all. I mean,
you don't.
I still love to smell me a good cinnamon roll. Okay? Like, if I'm making cinnamon rolls for the kids, I love to smell them. But I'm not at all tempted to eat it. It's so weird. It's like my taste
changes. Yeah, if you don't have that in your... Yeah, I mean, you're going to stop craving it once you get it out of your system.
And now I love spicy. And I like way more vegetables than I thought. Mom, if you're listening or you're watching, can you believe that? Like, I bet my mom never thought I would eat broccoli or cauliflower or beans or anything like that. I'm doing big things. I'm a big girl now.
You are a big girl. Well, you're not as big of a girl.
I mean,
you know what though was crazy? Like, okay, coming from my point of view, because I got to observe all this and live through it. I'm living through it. But as the observer, I think people often think that you just decide, okay, I'm going to go on this fitness journey and I'm going to start eating better, I'm going to start living better, and it's just overnight, and you give up what you want to give up without falling off and without having these failures and thinking, I can't do this, and either going through a stretch where you gain the weight back or you lose, you know what I mean? You lose your motivation, get burnt out.
Right.
And I think that's like you were saying, people got to say, here's my goal. Like, yours was an evolution. It wasn't like you're like the way you eat now is the opposite, even more so than the way you used to eat. Literally, you getting on a better diet when you started seeing results was cutting your cheeseburger at McDonald's and your fries in half and throw them away. Like, you still ate like crap for a long time.
Right. I did.
When you're getting better. And I think that's the thing that people, it's like, the better you get at it, the more you get into something.
Right.
And you embrace it and you get in a routine, the more you fall in love with it. You don't go from one level to the next mentally. Mm-hmm. I would have put everything I have on that you would have given up the food you give up and that you would be having a cheat day. That's freaking insane.
Right.
I know there's people out there that are like, well, I would never. Well, that's stupid.
Right.
That's you. You were never giving up your food. Nobody's going to ever tell you when you were going to eat something or when you weren't. Mm-mm. You know what I mean?
I was my own work. Yeah, I mean,
So-
I was my own work. Like thinking back to how I was when I started out, because I hired a trainer before I even had Nate, and I got in okay shape, and then I got pregnant with Nate, and I got way out of shape again. But I told my trainer, his name is Bruce, and
happens when you get in shape.
I wish I could find Bruce. I would love to just squeeze him because he's another reason why I feel like I made this a career. Don't remember his last name. All I remember, it was a Fitness 19 and Grayson, Georgia. Okay, so if for any way, shape, or form you ever find me, it would be amazing. But I was a horrible client because I told him, I was like, look, I'll work out. Okay, I'll do any workout you want to throw at me. Bring it. But listen here, buddy. I'm not giving up pizza, and I'm not giving up cheeseburgers, and I'm not giving up french fries. So if you're going to ask me to do that, not doing it. And he said, okay, I'm not going to do that right now. That's where I learned.
He was wise, yeah.
That's what I learned about over restriction. He knew, because he was in the fitness industry and he probably had many clients before me that was just like me. You can't over restrict. You can't go balls to the wall and say, I'm all in. And maybe some people, a very small fraction of people can do that.
That's rare. Yeah.
Please don't sing your song. Please don't.
Like a $2 bill.
Anyway. Inside joke. But you can't. And I knew that I couldn't go from standing outside of the pool, not wanting to get in because it's cold, to just diving in the 10-foot. I couldn't.
And cleaning the drains.
Right. I couldn't do that. So I didn't. So for the beginning, I did those workouts. I did hardcore workouts. I was very religious in the gym, but I still, like Jeff said, I still wanted to go eat what I wanted to eat. And I did that for a while. And then I started cutting portions. So eating what I wanted to eat, eating McDonald's, double cheeseburger, French fries, and a Coke.
Pretty good.
But I would literally cut the cheeseburger in half. I would literally take half the fries and either give them to one of my kids, give them to Jeff, give them to a homeless person outside, because in Atlanta, you could find them everywhere, unfortunately. Or, this will make some people cringe, but I would throw it away because I felt like it was better in the trash can than it was in, my stomach at the time. I did that. Then when I started seeing, it was like an evolution. Like you said, when I started seeing results from that, I'm like, what if I only eat fast food a couple of times a week? Then I saw results from that. What if I only ate fast food once a week? So it kind of snowballs into, well, holy crap, I'm eating clean all week and I'm having one cheat meal. And that's how I live right now.
And I'm shaking my head, but I was not on that journey with her. I was not eating good. I was working out every, 3 or 4 days a week. I think that's the thing. Mm-hmm. I think that's what I'm saying is it's just get on your level. If it's just getting off the freaking couch and saying, I'm going to walk 10 minutes a day.
Right.
From nothing, then good, do it. And then you're going to get however long in, and you're going to be like, you know what? I think I'm going to walk twice as long every day.
Right.
And then you're like, well, maybe I can jog. It just it's an evolution, and it's a challenge with yourself.
It is. And another thing I did, listen to me right now. This is very important. If you are a mom, a new mom, maybe you've had a baby within the last month, maybe you've had a baby within the last year or 2 years or even 3. Because I think Nate was, 3 when I started working out, when I finally started working out. I lied to myself. Girls, don't lie to yourself. Don't sit at your house feeling miserable, looking down at your stomach, looking at yourself in the mirror, and getting frustrated saying, I've had these babies or this baby. I'll never get back to where I was. I'll never get into shape. I'll never have abs. I'll never not have this roll that sticks out over my jeans. I'll always have this muffin top. I'm always going to have it because I did the same thing. Did I not? I was like, look, I'm going to work out. I'll probably lose weight. But I mean,
you're just wanting to get into a certain size and like where you didn't have things like the things that were bothering you show in your clothes. Like you were like, I just want to get to a size. And I remember the size, and then it's just crazy.
You can say it. I mean, I think
it was like you want to get to an 8 or a 6.
It was, exactly. It was an 8 or a 6, because I'll just share it, because I was at like a 12 or 14. Well, that wasn't my size, okay? So I wanted to get in an 8 or a 6, and I said, I probably will get to that point, but I'm always going to have these rolls, because I've had babies. I always use because I have babies.
Excuses.
Because I have kids. Well, I have these kids, so I'm always going to have this. Well, anyway, fast forward a few years, and yeah, I said a few years, and that might not be what some of you want to hear. Some of you might want to hear, oh, fast forward 6 months and I was in a size 8. That's bullcrap. That's bullcrap, because if you do it the right way, if you do it the way you want to sustain it, it takes freaking time. I'm not a quick fixer. I'm not a fad dieter.
You go, girl.
If that's what you want, get off this page, stop watching this Facebook Live, and turn off this podcast, because that's not what you get from me. It's not fast. It's not easy. It takes time. But if you do it the right way, you're going to fast forward 8 years down the road, and you're going to be celebrating what you've accomplished. But my point was, quit lying to yourself. You can do it. Stop using the excuses. Stop belly aching about it. Stop complaining about it, and go out and do something about it. Because when I was in that dressing room and I was trying on clothes and I was like, okay, I'm going to see if I fit in a size 6. And Jeff brought me a size 6 and they fit. I was like, sweet. Well, fast forward a few shopping trips later, which shopping trips for me are very few and far between. When we say few shopping trips, I mean, I'm talking about probably another year.
Hate to shop.
I hate to shop.
People that today. It's like you got to
shop.
go to the mall and go to Victoria's Secret, and that's just where I like to think that you'd go if you had to go to the mall. You're going to go.
So I want to shop left.
You're going to go to the 30-minute park. You're going to park. You're going to go into the mall. You're going to go to Victoria's Secret. You're going to get exactly what you need. You're going to pay for it, and you're going to go straight back to your car and leave. Well, you might go to Starbucks.
I will go to Starbucks.
And then you go straight to your car and you leave. But you're not going to wander around and buy this and that. You get stressed out in the mall.
I hate shopping.
It's a blessing.
So, next time I did go shopping, I was like, all right, Jeff, just, I guess, grab me a 4.
And I'm out there praying. I enter a 4, and I'm on my knees out there in the dressing room, like, please, God.
Right?
Please.
And so he brings me a 4, and I'm never going to forget this. I put it on, and I'm like, holy, keeping it clean for Facebook, crap. Holy crap. The 4s are too big. And I'm like, Jeff, bring me a 2? And let me tell you something. I hadn't been in a 2 since I was in high school. I was a mom. I had 3 kids. I had my belly stretched out 3 times its size and then shriveled back up to a small balloon after the kid was born and looking like freaking Gumby. It was disgusting. Ew. I never thought. I was like, bring me a 2.
So I do, but I'm still a size 36 waist at the time with probably an ice cream cone or a cookie with cream in the middle.
Probably.
But I was rooting her on.
So he brought me a size 2. I put it on. It was a little bit snug at the time, but I could wear it. And I was literally,
that was a good night.
Literally crying in the dressing room. Tears of joy, because I never thought I would actually do it. So it's fun to think about. It's fun to think back on. But it wasn't easy. And it took time.
That's the good memories, though, right? The good memories, if you really think about it, are the things you struggle through that you look back. And at the time, it might have been more pain than joy in the moment. But you look back and it gives you joy beyond, for the rest of your life. You think about the things you go through that are rough or tough, the challenges, especially when you overcome something that you didn't even seek out to overcome. You seek out to reach this minuscule goal that you thought was huge, and then you crush it, and you're still to this day trying to get to some other level. And it's not unhealthy. That's the thing. If people do it the right way, they're less likely to get unhealthy about it. And what I mean is mentally unhealthy about it.
Right.
More so than physically.
Right.
Because people get obsessed with the social media.
Oh,
I guess
gosh,
we don't see magazines as much anymore. You don't need to. But the social media and all the body image crap going on for these girls, it's like they do whatever they can do to look a certain way.
Well,
so they need role models like you.
I'm glad you brought that up about social media, because social media is, when it comes to fitness, well, really when it comes to anything, it's good and bad. If it weren't for social media, if it weren't for Facebook, if it weren't for Instagram, even Snapchat, I'm not a Twitter girl. I'm not in the Twitterverse.
Twitter rocks.
Okay. But if it weren't for that, I wouldn't have the clientele that I have now. I wouldn't have the platform that I have now that I can get the word out there, that I can help people. But at the same time, including myself, and I know a lot of my clients and I know a lot of people out there, it can destroy your self-confidence. It can destroy your self-image. When you scroll through Instagram and you look at these Instagram models, these bodybuilders, these fitness people, and they're looking a certain type of way that you would like to look, it can make you feel horrible. So what I encourage you to do...
That's why I don't post without my shirt on.
What I encourage you to do is seek out the people who are kind of like you, who have a story maybe similar to you. People who lift you up, who don't make you feel bad about yourself. If you're on social media with someone and you run across their posts and it makes you feel bad, it makes you feel down, it makes you feel negative about yourself, you need to quit following them. They don't mean to do it. They're not maliciously meaning to do it, most people, but if they're making you feel that way, unfollow them. You know, if it's getting to you. Okay, so if you are a 43-something-year-old lady, like myself, hypothetically, or man, and you're following a bunch of young 20-something-year-old people, like fitness people on Instagram, and you're looking at these young ladies, and you're comparing yourself, and you're comparing your life, and they're making you feel bad, don't follow them. If they're not making you feel that way, by all means, follow them. It's great. Cool. It's fine.
Glad I got your approval on that.
But what I'm saying is, like, you can't compare your life with someone who's nowhere like you. Maybe these ladies haven't had 3 or 4 kids. Maybe they haven't been through life struggles like you have. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they didn't have to have a fitness journey. Maybe they were always blessed with that. Just follow people that inspire you, not make you feel bad about yourself. That's all I'm going to say about social media.
Yeah, you don't see the bad stuff on social media most of the time. So
nobody's going to put, who's going to put, if you're posting something on social media, more than likely you're posting the best of the best, okay? Except sometimes I post real. I mean, like I'm right. You know, I'm a pretty real person. But don't let social media bring you down, because it's so much more than that. In fact, I am so glad that social media wasn't around when I first started my fitness journey, or else I probably would have really gotten discouraged. So that's all I'm going to say about social media.
Social media out.
Social media done, with that conversation. But anyway, so it has been a long journey. It has been a struggle, and I still struggle daily, if I'm being honest. Everybody does, right?
Yeah, heck yeah. I mean,
we all struggle. Like, I struggle
to go to the gym. People think, it's just easy to just go to the gym. You've been doing it like I do it every day of the week.
Listen.
No, it's not easy.
People think it's easy for me because, Angie, it's easier for you to work out. It's your job. You live at the gym. You're always there. It must be easy. No, that's in fact what makes it difficult. Some days I don't want to go. I don't want to walk in there. I don't want to be like, hey, all the time. Like, I'm tired. Like, I don't want to go. But I do. I go. You force yourself. Sometimes you don't. Sometimes you take one and you're just like, forget it. I'm done today. And that's fine too. But it's not easy. It's very difficult. And I do struggle with it. I even struggle with it up to this point, even last night, of thinking, I am a 43-year-old woman. How long am I going to be relevant, right? I struggle with that.
Yeah.
So the struggle is continuous. You just have to figure out how to get through the struggle.
You got to fight it.
To get through the excuses. So you got to fight it.
You got to fight it. You got to fight it. You got to
fight
the struggle.
But I'm super excited. Today is a great day.
It is 8 years.
8 years.
That's impressive. We should just quit and eat ice cream.
No.
Like, just quit working out. You did it. Congratulations.
See, that's the thing that people think. They think, you did it.
We can just stop, and you can eat. We can eat pizza every night, and we can eat bacon on the pizza, and we can eat ice cream with a shake on the side.
You would love that, wouldn't you?
I like it. I don't know if I love it, but I like it at the time. It'd be delicious. That's my next cheat meal.
That's disgusting.
Shakes and ice cream.
Shakes and ice cream? So you're going to drink a shake and eat ice cream?
Probably. Not at the same time, though. I'm going to spread it out.
That's really gross.
I know.
But anyway, we just wanted to pop on here and share a little bit of my journey. Celebrate a little bit.
Big day. Because
it's a big day for me. I am proud of myself. And if I can do it, I promise you, you can do it. I went from a high school, college girl that was skinny, but I would have throat punched you if you asked me to work out. Like, I would have curled a 3-pound dumbbell and been like, oh my gosh, this is so heavy. You know what I'm saying?
Like that?
just like that, to a mom of 3 little kids who is really overweight and feeling extremely bad about herself, to getting into fitness, losing a bunch of weight, like 50 some pounds, but I went through, that to where I am now, which I've put on a little more muscle and I'm a little bit, I guess, bulkier. I don't know. Is that the right word?
I wouldn't refer to you as bulky.
I mean, I'm not.
You're not skinny. You're muscular. You're more muscular, and you got some muscle on you.
But I did go through a skinny time. That's why it's a journey. That's what I'm saying. There's so many different stops you're going to make throughout your journey, and you're constantly changing. And I'm still working, and I still have goals I want to obtain. I still have this freaking pull-up goal that's got me. You want to talk about struggles?
Yeah, you got to get that done.
Listen, y'all.
Got to get on it.
If you follow me at all, you know that at the beginning of the year, I set a pull-up goal, as I have every year for the past 3 years. I've never accomplished, but to do 10 unassisted pull-ups. In years past, I wanted to do it by the end of the year. This year, I thought I'd be fancy pants and say that I'll do 10 unassisted pull-ups by April 1st. Well, it's March 19th, and I've gone backwards. I worked my way up to 5 sloppy ones, and it rattled my cage because they were sloppy. Because when I do something, I want to do it right.
That's right.
I don't want to do it half.
I wouldn't say there are 5 sloppy ones.
They were
3 or 4 really good ones, and maybe a sloppy and a half.
No, I'm not doing it. So I backtracked, and I pulled it back, and I said, okay, how many can I do very controlled? Well, I'm back down to 3. And that got in my head. And I'm not going to lie, it's in my head. I haven't done a pull-up in 2 weeks. 2 weeks I have not been on the pull-up bar.
Get on the pull-up bar.
Because it ticks me off.
Well, you're gonna have to jump at little objection, that obstacle.
So see the struggle. It's a struggle. It's a struggle. We all struggle.
I'm good at.
I'm going to get it.
I'm not saying, hey.
I'm not going to get it by April 1st.
No, but you're not going to quit either.
But I'm not going to quit. I'll start my pull-ups again next week, I promise.
That's right.
That's right. And then by this time next year, when I'm celebrating 9 years, I'll be able to tell the pull-up story.
It's going to be amazing. Congratulations on 8 years.
Thank you.
I'll meet you back here
next year. And
next year for number 9er.
Again, congratulations to us on our 100th episode of In the Closet. ITC. Again, one more little plug. If you don't follow us and you don't listen, you need to. Podcast is called In the Closet. Instagram is Runyons in the Closet.
That's it.
Peace out.